And a lot of time that we are waiting for someone to give us permission, waiting someone to rescue us, waiting someone to recognize us. But we forgot that if we could do it, start within us, we have that power.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait, because you are your best coach and you are enough. You are beautiful and you are worthy. If every one of us realize that, imagine what life would be different.
Welcome to Playing with Perspective, the suspended animation podcast, where we hear real stories from real people and we tackle all sorts of fun topics in the areas of business, marketing, entrepreneurship, mindset, the arts, and, well, life itself. It's amazing what you will pick up. Thanks for joining us. Welcome, everyone. It's another fantastic episode of Playing with Perspective, the suspended animation podcast. I'm Darren Saul, your host. It's episode 229. The topic for today, Rediscover Yourself, a conversation with Alice Chou. How are you doing, Alice?
I'm doing excellent.
I'm glad. I can see you're smiling. I can see there's lots of red coordination in your background and your dress. So I'm very impressed. You've done a lot of planning to get this right.
Yes, red is my superpower.
I like it. Now, before we jump in, I'd like to give everybody a little bit more information on Alice's story. Alice's story begins on the small island of Kinmen County, Taiwan, where she was lovingly nicknamed Strawberry for her resilience. Childhood turned challenging when she faced bullying at her dad's school, but her mum's empowering words strengthened her. At 16, a severe scooter accident shifted her perspective when her dad's wisdom on gratitude became her resilience mantra. After 10 years in the corporate world post-university, Steve Jobs' words ignited her passion to change careers and teach children, discovering joy in their growth mindset. At 35, despite doubts from those around her, Alice took a bold leap to come to Australia alone. Her teaching evolved into leadership, empowering hundreds of families and transforming her own journey. Today, through her Finding the I transformation program, Alice empowers women to find their sparkle, embrace their stories, and never dim their light. Alice stands as a testament to the transformative power of resilience, self-love, and the courage to dream. Because if this little strawberry could do it, so can you. I love it. What a beautiful introduction. Well done.
That is such a wonderful introduction, Darren.
But thank you for coming on the show, Alice. Really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to learning more about your story. Let's dive in. Why don't you tell us a bit more about your story and your whole nickname, Strawberry? How did this come about?
The nickname Strawberry was given by my parents. During my mom's pregnancy, she was very hungry, as all the moms will understand. However, she didn't have time to go home and cook. She had to continue to work. So she was looking for something she could eat quickly. So she found this wild strawberry in the bush. So juicy, so bright, so red. So she picked it up and then just help her to stop hunger.
Wow.
However, the meaning behind this wild strawberry, the local village called it ruby, as it shine and bloom no matter how tough and difficult environment, no matter it's in the dry season or storm, it always grow and strong. That's why my parents wish me to develop this resilient spirit and help me to overcome all the setbacks in my life. So all the people in the Kinmen Island call me Strawberry.
I love it. That is very, very cool. Are all strawberries like that, or is it only that particular varietal in that area?
Yes, it's particularly in Kinmen County that the locals say even a snake was afraid to eat it because it has all these spikes and really tough.
Wow.
Yeah, so it actually helped me to remember this mantra about the spirit of resilience always shine and thrive in a tough environment.
That's really cool because it's almost like a mantra for you, isn't it? It's like a little
Yeah,
fulfilling prophecy that because people are always calling you strawberry, it's driving you to make sure that you live up to that.
that's right. Yes. So I'm very grateful for this nickname.
That's very cool. I love it. So tell us a bit more about your childhood experiences. Obviously, you've done a lot of things. You've
Yeah.
had some setbacks, but you've also overcome them beautifully. In particular, the bullying at your school and your scooter accident. How did they shape your development?
Start with the school bullies. I believe that many of us may have these challenges in some stage of our lives. For me was my dad was my teacher as well. And being a teacher's daughter brought a lot of challenges to me, especially when I thrive academic success.
Yeah.
My classmate would start to call me all the hurtful names, making jokes about my appearance, call me cheater. I remember every time since primary school, this group of girls and boys, when they demonstrate some behaviors towards my self-esteem, and after school, I would went home, cry, and asked my Mom, was I really ugly? Or was I really dumb? Was I the bad person? Was I the cheater? Was I not working hard enough? My mom, when she heard my negative self-talk, immediately she asked me to stand in front of the mirror and look myself. And she said, repeat after me. I'm strong. I'm resilient. I'm beautiful. I'm intelligent. I'm hard worker. I deserve everything I work hard with. Since age 6 years old. And unfortunately, this group of boys and girls follow me throughout primary school to secondary school. But because my mom's this guidance, and that time I didn't know what she did is actually help me grow mindset.
Absolutely. And your self-esteem.
That's right. And whenever I heard myself or someone talk towards my self-love, I will come back to this self-affirmation to say, I can do this. It's okay. Even nobody likes you. It's all right. Just believe in yourself.
Very cool. That's really powerful. I love it. And it just goes to show you how important it is to have those role models and those influences when you're growing up.
Definitely. And the second vivid moment was enter the high school.
Yep.
I thought everything was great because finally those boys and girls were no longer being my classmates. And I had a great relationship with new friends. I was thriving in all areas of my life. At age 16, you felt like my future was bright.
Yeah.
But one night changed everything. I was on my mom's scooter on the back with a helmet. We were driving back home.
Right. Wow.
And that time, the whole island was shut down the light because we were under military law.
Ooh.
We had a curfew.
Ooh.
And we hit the 20-foot container truck.
Ah,
Yeah. Both of us.
because you
flew
couldn't
away
see.
Because we couldn't see. And the next moment when I woke up, I was on the hospital.
Oh my God.
I lost 50% of my teeth, broke my jaw, broke my knee, and my mom had severe injury as well.
No.
So this experience that caused me to drop out the high school for 1 year to start my recovery. Yes. So imagine at age 16, that's anger, the frustration. You thought your future was bright, but suddenly everything crashed. And I look I was so afraid to look in the mirror again because I knew, because I can feel it, right? All this pain. I couldn't walk. And so I was holding these frustration, anger, hates towards the world, towards my mom, actually.
Oh, really?
That why this happened to me. And one night I was trying to drink this milk on the bed because I couldn't eat during the recovery. I finally lashed out. My dad was next to me. I said, this is not fair. Why me? Why me? Why have to suffer so much? Because I didn't understand.
Yeah.
And my dad just looked at me very calm. He said, you should be grateful.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
16
What are
year
you
old.
talking about
What are you
that?
talking about?
What are you talking about? I lost everything. I have to restart again. What do you mean I should be grateful? And he said, you should be grateful you are still alive.
Oh. Wow. And was that a turning or defining moment for you, or do you remember any other particular moment during that time when you confronted yourself and said, no, I'm changing
Yeah.
things?
So I asked him, why should I be grateful? And then he said, you should be grateful that the night when accident happened, the whole community, your family were flying to hospital to help you, to help us. Your 70 years old grandma helped you throughout 1 year recovery. And I was busting my ass off in and out, put all the debt to help you and mom to recover. And I never complained. You should see the fortunate in the unfortunate situation. And that moment hit me. So the gratitude towards this unfortunate told me that life happening for me, not to me. What can I learn from it? So then a year after, finally everything rolled back my bones, and I had to do another surgery again to take out this metal from my knee.
Oh my God.
I have to learn how to walk again. I just remind myself, I'm grateful I'm still alive. Just take one step at a time. So these gratitudes is the cure for me for every setbacks in my life.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you had such strength and you developed such tenacity back then, you can handle anything.
That's right. Yeah. So I have to thanks to my dad's wisdom for that night, that our conversation shared my perspective for looking at the life.
Oh my God. And so then obviously you finished school and then you went to start working in the corporate world. What did you do in the corporate world?
Have you ever following everyone's opinions or expectations?
Sure, of course.
Yeah, like I should do this.
Yeah.
I remember when I want to study some other majors, my parents said, you should study this. And I followed through.
Yeah.
And then when I graduated, I climbed the corporate ladders that become successful businesswoman or organizing like multi-million events. But I was extremely unhappy. I didn't know why. I feel lost. To the point, one night after 5 days event, I was super exhausted. It was in the winter around 2 a.m. I was ordering this small noodle soup by myself. And then the table next to me were a group of university students, and they were singing happy birthday song to all their friends. And that hit me like my life was just work.
Wow.
Moving from one box to another box. I didn't have purpose, even though I was very successful in my work, making good money, but my soul was not fulfilled. And I started to wonder that, so what was my passion? What was my purpose? What do I want to do in this world? I started to have this big question. I didn't want to wake up, feel like dragging my body to work and lost my joy. And day after day, I feel like my soul was dying until like I was watching Steve Jobs' speech at Stanford University.
Okay.
Yeah, and he said that if you haven't found what you love, keep looking, don't settle. You need to find something you love, doing what you're passionate about.
Wow.
However, I didn't know what was I passionate about. Nobody ever told me that. Not in the university. All I studied was just achieve academic success. So what was my passion? What was my purpose? I have zero clue, right?
Yep.
So then I started to dig in these big questions, learning about what was my true talent, and start to research and listening to Oprah Winfrey and all these amazing teachers. So I called my parents. I said, can you please let me know what was I like when I was 5 or 6 years old? Because I believe that is when we show our true talent
Okay.
and nature gift.
Yep.
And my dad said, when you were 5 years old, you loved to pick up my glasses, stood in front of the mirror and pretending you were a teacher.
Oh, really?
You love help me to correct like my exam and then pretend you were a teacher. You love looking after the neighbor children and led them. I was like, okay, then I'll try to be a teacher then.
And did you not reflect on that and think where else you were exhibiting those tendencies in life? Were you and you didn't realize it subconsciously? You were teaching people to do things.
No, because nobody ever told me that. And university, you just
Wow.
follow what your teachers, your parents say, what is good for you.
Yep.
I guess because it's a traditional culture, I have to obey. Girl, don't drink too hard. Just do what I told you to do.
Yeah.
That's basically, that's the culture I grew up. So when I decided to take the bold action to discover that, the moment after I should say I finished my teaching training with the company, step into the classroom, do on that stage and looking at 40 students. And that 5 years old me came up.
Oh my God.
And that was the moment hit me that this is it. And it was 2000 and 2007 and I never go back. Yeah. I found my purpose.
Yep. Wow. Impressive. And then you started teaching kids or who were you teaching?
Basically, I was the English teacher
Okay.
to help children improving their English skills.
Okay, great.
However, I noticed that not only the children, most of the time I was communicating with parents.
Mm-hmm.
I was mentoring them about it's good to let your children to learn the skill. However, you need to understand their emotions, what they truly need. You need to understand. You have to, you want the mirror in front of your children. If you want them to thrive, what are you exhibit in front of them?
Yep.
So it's already started there that mentoring the adults as well.
Interesting. And so you did that for a number of years. And then why did you decide to make the move to Australia? What brought that on?
Me, as a little wild strawberry, always had a big dreams.
Yeah.
So 2010, I came to Australia to just have a 1 year break.
Okay. And why did you choose Australia? You just heard about it or you studied it?
I also wanted to discover this beautiful country and then I had the opportunity. So I choose to come. Then when I was in Darwin City, I had opportunity to work in the childcare center. I fell in love with Australian early childhood education. I always question that why the children are so happy when they were in early age, not like the children in Taiwan. We have so much stress that we have to figure out. We need to be successful that in a young age, we lost the joy. So when I worked in that childcare center, I fell in love that the children's growth mindset their learning and development, and what are the fundamental knowledge and skill they need. I wanted to discover. So that's why I made my decision. I want to come back and pursue my degree. So this dream planted at that time, however, it took me 4 years, finally able to share to my friends. But what happened when you share your dream to your loved ones? Sometimes
Yeah, sure.
they will
And
say,
for 4 years, you developed and
yeah,
harbored this dream and you never mentioned it to anybody.
I believe that you may have this experience that when you have a dream and you ignore it, and this voice will haunt you.
That's true.
That you really know what you desire,
Yeah.
but because of fear, self-doubt, self-sabotage,
Yep.
you just cover it.
Yep.
And however, in the night you couldn't sleep because that voice come back. What are you doing, Alice? What happened to your dream? What are you doing, wasting your life? It's okay. It's okay. I'm happy here. I'm too old. I took the courage to share. First was my best friends I knew many years. And they say, are you crazy? How old are you?
Yeah.
You still want to chase your dream?
Yeah.
You will never success, Alice. And the other one said, you want to give up everything you're doing so well, earn so much money. You want to start from zero again at age 35?
Impressive.
And I was like, okay. That was not what I expected. They were not my best cheerleaders.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, how about I'm going to share with my parents, my family. That's even worse.
I can imagine.
Oh my God. And age 35, if you are single and not married, at that time, the people will say you are a leftover woman.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, meaning that your market value goes down every year. So I mentioned to my parents, but my parents were like, you should get married and have a children and think about settle down. You want to chase your dream?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Impressive.
Yeah. So my mom said, if you really determined to achieve this dream, you will never come back until you success. I was like, what? It would take me more than 2 years, maybe. You don't want me to come back? How about how about you guys can come to visit me? I said, no, you're not allowed to come to me. You're not allowed to see me
Oh my God.
until you success. If it is really what you want to do, want to achieve in your life.
Tough love. It's tough love, what we call. That's cool.
Yeah. But that was really like devastated to hear that from the most respectful people I love the most in the world. But maybe you can call it, I was stubborn enough, or this really what I want to do. Tony Robbins said you need to have hunger for what you want in your life. And I decided still nobody, okay, that's fine. I believe in myself. Remember that self mantra, like, can do this. Yes, Alice, just do it. So I booked the ticket and then I come to Australia. But tell you what, after 3 months, I did call my parents.
Oh, really? Yep.
And I said, can I come back?
Oh, no. Really?
You're right.
Oh, wow.
You're right. It's so hard. I don't think I can do it anymore. Like struggling with money, study all night long, this stress about unknown. And my mom just simply said, you chose your path. Stick with it.
Ah, very cool.
Don't call back again.
This is great.
I was like,
I think I'm going to
okay,
get your
cool.
mum on the podcast as well. This is great.
Definitely. And I was like, okay, she was right, actually. She was right. I chose it. Nobody forced me.
Yep.
That was my decision.
Yep.
So after that conversation, the next day, I took the train from my university dorm and got off from Milson's Point. I walked down to Harbor Bridge.
Yep.
And just spent the whole day there.
Wow.
And just picture myself why I want to come to Australia first.
Yep.
And Jim Carrey's interview with Oprah Winfrey about visualization inspired me so much. Live in your dream, live in the manifestation about what you want in life. So I cut down the picture from the university magazine, found a master gown, put myself picture there, and look at every day and picture myself standing there, receive this degree of massive teaching. And my parents were there, and every day I pictured it. Even though I was exhausted, I was struggle. Every day I pictured. And 2015, I invited my parents to Australia to attend my graduation ceremony. And they were there and watch me receive my degree.
That would have been glowing.
Yeah. That was probably the glorious moment in my life.
Wow, that's fantastic. I'm getting goosebumps just listening to all of this. Amazing, incredible. So we can tell that you are an extremely dedicated and vigilant person and tenacious. And if there's something that you want to achieve, you'll just go ahead and achieve it. You won't let your inner voices hold you back. Impressive.
Thank you.
Wow. And so in terms of what you do now, obviously you're using a lot of your story and a lot of your experience and what you've learned in your own journey to empower women.
Yes.
Tell us a bit more about why you want to do that.
In my whole life, I've been hit so many rock bottoms and setbacks and challenges. And in that moment, there were always someone came. You could call it God's angel or maybe the guidance to just say something on their kind act or just be there for you and listening to your problem and help me see the light, the end of the tunnel. Right. And then that inspired me because the girlfriend I mentored, the more than 1,000 families I mentored past 20 years, I seen that if we transform inside out, we could see all the different areas start to transform itself. And a lot of time that we are waiting for someone to give us permission, waiting someone to rescue us, waiting someone to recognize us. But we forgot that if we could do it, start within us, we have that power. Don't wait, because you are your best coach and you are enough. You are beautiful and you are worthy. If every one of us realize that, imagine what life would be different.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I've seen so many women. Also, we can study successful cases, stories over the history, including myself. If we overcome that self-belief and really that bringing into our root of self-love, loving ourselves, embrace every part of us, even the imperfection of us, right?
Yep.
Yeah, good or bad.
Yep. That's
and
the most important
shine.
part. We have to embrace our imperfections.
Yes, and shine yourself, and you can start to live with joy, a pure joy, and feel purposeful and meaningful. And you will be the great model, not only for your children, not only for your children, for your colleagues. You'll become a great leader, a great partner, and Yeah, and you will shine. And that is the purpose of life. I wanted to show everybody it's possible. Really. Yeah.
Love it. So there's still a bit of that teacher in you.
See the 5 years old with the big glasses.
Love it, love it. But when you're working with women, what do you find as a common stumbling block or a common obstacle that's holding them back from really shining and embracing their self-worth and their dreams?
That's a very good question. From my own experience and the girlfriends and moms I mentored, there are two main areas. One is the self-doubt. Self-doubt causes a lot of anxieties, anxious, insecurity, imposter syndrome, self-sabotage.
Yep.
The self-doubt is that little monkey voice like always tell us that you are not enough or you can't do it. But we don't know about this voice actually is rooted subconsciously from our past experience, that the voice around us or the past negative traumas that cause this belief. And how we overcome it is challenging it. Whenever it comes, that challenge it, that is it true? I'm not really beautiful. Is it true? I'm not capable. I remember 2017 that broke up, really devastated. And then the moment I had enough, that I always feel in a relationship. Why? I had enough. Am I really not good enough to deserve love? Why? And I started to challenge it. This self-doubt. No, I believe I'm a good person. I believe I deserve love. And then I found a lot of evidence throughout my life. And I started to believe these core values, that I'm worthy of love.
Nice.
And the other one is limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs is the beliefs we keep telling ourselves, the story we telling ourselves over and over again, and it becomes true.
Yeah.
Because you believe it so much. However, when I teach children, I saw that their growth mindset actually are influenced by caregivers, by teachers, by peers, by society, by social standards. And I understood rooted for these limiting beliefs were not from me. It could be influenced by the external world. So I started to discover that what is the root cause for these limiting beliefs. And then I start to challenge it. What if I really capable about it? What if I good enough? What if I really beautiful? What is this person I want to become now? What she or he walk, or what's his image like? Yeah, the limiting beliefs is not you. It's just the picture of ourselves telling ourselves that we can't. And it basically is
incorrect dialogue.
Yeah, it's a rooted, actually, you feel like you're not worthy enough. Yeah. So these are the two main reasons. That's why in the Finding the Transformation program, that these two elements, we will discover it and then learn how to overcome it and learn the strategy and tools that what can we do and take action to develop the positive beliefs with inspiring actions.
Tell us a bit more about your new program, the Finding the I Transformation Program.
This Finding the I Transformation program is actually comes from the love from me and the heart and soul that I wanted to really share to all the women out there, especially when they're transition point of their time. They tell themselves that I'm not enough. I'm not loved. I'm not worthy. I'm not capable to achieve their greatness, their success, or the life they desire. And from my experience, from the mothers I mentor, the girlfriend I mentor, I'm here to share with you, to prove to you, no, you are enough. Yes, you can do it. There are tools and strategies and science back it up. So I craft it for 7 simple steps, systematic. They can follow through and find themselves again. And you can find out more information at findingthei.com.
Very cool. So you got the website all up and running, findingthei.com.
That's right.
Very nice. But before we get into that, what would you say to women generally that think, it's too late, I'm too old, I don't have the resources to change, let me just do what I've always been doing?
First, I want to let them know it's normal to feel like that because you're human.
Yep. True.
And those voices are the subconsciously of limiting beliefs and self-doubt, as we discussed before. I have these voices for many years as well. Whenever I want to do something greater, those voices come back. Oh, what are you thinking? Are you crazy? You have this angel and devil always playing different parts on your shoulders.
That's right.
Yes, I want them to know that it's normal.
Yep.
However, when you take courageous action, change is scary for some stage of the life because it's unknown.
Definitely.
It can be scary, yes, in the beginning. But when you take a courageous, bold action, even though it's scary, even though it's messy, just do it. Just take one step at a time. I remember when I was struggling in my master course.
Yeah.
I want to give up every day. It's extremely mentally, physically, spiritually, that you feel like you couldn't do it anymore. And then one of my friends who lived together in a university dorm, she said, whenever you feel you are physical, mentally demanding, you are growing. And it also can see in James Clear's book, Atomic Habit.
Mm-hmm.
When you take just 1% each day, over the year, you increase. Each day is a small action, even though it seems so seamlessly. For instance, if I remember the darkest day, I couldn't get out of bed, right? I just say, okay, how about I'm just going to sit next to the bed A. That's the first step. And then just say, okay, next week, I'm just going to just get out of bed, get out of the room, go to the living room.
Wow.
And then in 1 month, okay, how about I just walk to the park? That's it. And remember during this period of time, remember, be kind to yourself. That's very important. Self-compassion is so important because we have this inner critic always say that, why you are not achieved there yet? However, we don't understand that every single step collectively become a massive action in the end.
Yep, it's cumulative. Little intricate improvements every day will make a huge difference when you look back.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what they do in sports, in business, in all facets of our life. Absolutely.
That's right.
Wow, very good advice. And so if people want to get involved with the program, how do they do that? Just go to the website?
Yeah, go to website, findingthei.com. You will learn about the program. You will learn about me, the founder of Finding the Eye, and how Finding the Eye can help you to rediscover yourself again and reconnect your self-love and worth and shine your authentic self.
Beautiful. And what kind of programs or how can people work with you? Is it coaching face-to-face? Is it one-on-one? Is it group? Is it webinars?
Finding the Air Transformation Program is the online program. It depends on the client's needs. Some people can learn at their own pace. Some people need a group of a community. They find it that is so supportive. So that's why we have this group coaching.
Nice.
And some people need one-on-one to hold them accountable and really work together every step of the way. The reason why I create this online program is they can access anytime, anywhere they want. Because I remember in my darkest time, I would just question myself, what if I can have this platform for all the women out there? They have the tools immediately they can access and to help themselves. Wouldn't be wonderful?
Yep. Awesome. And I believe you've got some webinars coming up. Is that right?
Yes, I'm very excited. In August 17th,
nice.
I have this webinar, Empower Inner Voice, Transforming Self-Doubt to Self-Love. In the webinar, we're going to talk about what is the root for your self-doubt, how we overcome that, how we develop that voice into the inner strength and give you powerful tools and strategy that you can implement in your daily life. So for the podcast listeners, thank you for joining us. So we will offer podcast 20 for your 20% off for the webinar. So just go to findingtheair.com, click program, and you will find the information there. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well done. Alice, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a really uplifting conversation for me, and I love how you shared your story in such an intimate and vulnerable way, because that's what allows us to really understand your motivation and your passion for putting together a course like this and all the different programs that you provide to help people achieve their goals as well. So really been a lovely episode, and I hope the audience got as much out of this as I did. But I always like to leave my guest with the last word. So what would you like to leave our audience with today?
I would love to let everyone listening to this podcast, I want them to know you are loved. You are enough. Shine your authentic light and bring yourself back. It's never too young, never too old, never too late. You got this.
I like it. You got this. Lessons from the wild strawberry herself.
Yeah, and let Finding the Air help you along the way.
I love it. Well done. Everyone, I'm going to put all the details in the show notes for Finding the Eye and Finding Alice. Definitely work with her because I can feel her energy and her passion from across the screen, and I think she'd be fantastic to work with. So everyone, I hope you really enjoyed that as much as I did. Alice, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you very soon for another episode of Playing with Perspective, the Suspended Animation Podcast. Bye for now.
Thank you, Darren. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks again for joining me for another episode of Playing with Perspective, the Suspended Animation Podcast. If you would like to join me as a guest on the show, I would be delighted to collaborate. Feel free to buzz me on 0414 659 800 or email me on darren@suspendedanimation.com.au. I'm always on the lookout for great guests who can share their stories and expertise with my community. Also, if you have been thinking about putting your own podcast together and not sure where to begin, look no further. I run a really simple 3-part podcasting course, one-on-one with me, where I walk you through the entire podcasting journey. You will end up with a fantastic new podcast to start sharing right away. Feel free to get in touch to discuss further. But for now, though, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.